Premier Gospel.
Okay, so I'm excited about this young man's work, and this interview has been a long time coming. I mean, the number of times we've had to postpone this, only God knows. And that's because this man never stops. He never, ever stops. Always working, always very busy. But first of all, can I just say a very big thank you to Mr. Bob Punda from Zambia, who incidentally, right, this artist is Nigerian, but I got to know his work through Zambia. So he's going to explain that to us as well. That's quite interesting. Okay. So shall I first start by calling you Samuel or Sam?
Yeah. Sure,
right.
sir.
So he was actually born Sam. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me try and remember or pronounce your surname. Sam Onuibiko. Does that sound right? Ombiko.
Yes.
All right. But we know him as Limoblaze. Yeah. So who calls you Sam? Your mom calls you Sam. Your dad calls you Sam. Your friends call you Sam. Anybody calls you Sam at all?
My parents don't call me Sam. My parents call me Junior. Yeah. Some of my really close friends call me Sam, but like maybe just a handful of persons that call me Samuel, and then some really elder friends.
Okay.
And then yes, some people I'm really close to when they're angry, they call me Samuel.
So where did that name Limoblaze come from?
So my full name is actually Samuel Imo Onwubiko Jr.
Okay.
So the Limo is from the Samuel and Imo. If you put that together, you get like Samuel Imo. So take the L from the Samuel and add it to the Imo, and you had Limo, and then we just added a Blaze to it.
I thought maybe you had a limousine at some point in your life, and decided to
I'm guessing someday.
someday, very soon. So tell us about your early childhood. Where were you born, and where did you grow up?
I was born in Makodi, Benue State. Makodi is a small town in Nigeria. I was born there, lived the most of my life there, went to school there, both primary, secondary, and university, and before I moved to Lagos. But yeah, that was where I was born, Makodi, Benue State.
But then generally speaking, you're a Lagos boy. You've lived most of your life in Lagos.
No. I've lived only 2 years plus in Lagos.
Only 2 years?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I'm in my third year now. Like I'm on the course of my third year, but I've only been in Lagos 2 years plus.
So why did you decide to move to Lagos?
Yeah, for one, it was like where God was leading me to, and like it was the next step of my journey where God wanted to do the things that He wanted to do through me, and evidently it has been happening. So yes, that's why I moved.
So how's life been in Lagos for you? I mean, compared to where you grew up, and obviously Lagos is much busier. A lot more happening there.
Yes, Lagos is faster than anywhere in Nigeria. I mean, my first 2 months, I wanted to run back.
Why is that?
Yeah, because it was overwhelming. Lagos can be like if you were not born here and you haven't lived in Lagos can be overwhelming. Everybody's moving fast. Everything is happening so fast. So my first 2 months in Lagos, I wanted to run back, but I just held on. When I held on past those 2 months, I finally found my rhythm. And right now, I don't think I can live anywhere else in Nigeria other than Lagos.
Really? I mean, I tell you what, I've only been to Nigeria once, and when I was in Lagos, I mean, the impression I had of Lagos as being a very busy place, traffic here and there.
Yeah.
Maybe I just came to Lagos at the right time, because for the whole time that I was in Nigeria, I never experienced any traffic anywhere at all. Really?
Wait. You were on the island.
I was on the island, yes.
You were not going far. You were not going far from your spot. So there's no way you'll be in Lagos and you drive in Lagos in a day and not experience traffic. It's impossible.
Picked up from the airport, straight to the island, spent the whole time on the island. So honestly,
did you come in on a Saturday?
It was on a Friday afternoon, actually. It was on a Friday afternoon, so it must have been a good time. It was around 2 o'clock, thereabouts. And
around 2 o'clock, people returning from offices have not started returning yet, so the roads might be a bit freer around then.
Right. So Okay, so I caught the timing was right then.
Yes, yes. And then staying on the island, there isn't exactly much traffic on the island, especially depends on where you stay. So yeah.
Okay, okay. So listen, I was told you joined the choir at a very, very, very young age.
Yeah.
How did that happen, and at what age was that?
It was probably like maybe at age 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
I had always loved music as a child, and my family is like a music loving family. Growing up, my memories growing up was always like waking up, especially Saturday mornings. Everybody's in the house. There's Michael Jackson, or there's Westlife, or there's like hymns playing in the house, like really loud volume, and everybody's listening and doing their house chores. So I've always loved music, and the choir was just it just had to be where I had to be. I was also the lead vocalist in the choir as a child and stuff. So music had just always really been my thing, even as a child.
So was that mom or dad or both?
I think my dad is my not. I think my dad is actually the more musically inclined one,
But not professional.
because I think he. No, he didn't go professional with it, but I think he used to play the guitar.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was very difficult to run away from that, to escape from that.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Okay. So, did you feel compelled, or was it just inspiration, just seeing what was happening around you? Because I know, like, some parents who are musical would want their children to be musical, and therefore.
Oh no, that's not the case. My parents didn't even want me to do music.
Really?
Like they fought against the music for a while. Mostly due to the fact that growing up, I had always been like a really brilliant kid, top of class every term, top of class every term. They wanted me to be a medical doctor. Even as a child, I thought I wanted to be a medical doctor.
Okay.
Because I was that brilliant, and so music was going to seem like it was going to be in the way of me being what my dad had hoped I would be, a medical doctor. And
but that's a typical African parent, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yes, very common thing. So with my music, they fought it for the longest until I think we actually struck a deal at one point. It's like, okay, make sure your grades are not failing, and then we'll let you. And yeah, I made sure my grades was good. So I made sure my grades stayed up, and I was able to do my music.
So there was that an attempt to kind of silence your parents and say, listen, the music is actually not affecting me academically.
Oh,
I'm still doing good.
Yes. Because at that point, so it's a common thing with African parents. Once African parents don't want you to do anything, once anything goes wrong in your life at that point, that stuff they don't want you to do is going to be pointed at, like, this is the reason. It's just like if they tell you stop pressing your phone. If anything happens, they say, oh, you're always pressing your phone. That's why this happens. So I had to be.
There's always a cause for something, isn't it?
Yes.
So listen, you're a part of what I call a new generation of African artists who are bringing out a new sound out of the continent. Would that be a right description of what yourselves and the likes of the Angelos, the NKs, the Amos, this new generation?
Oh yeah, very well. I mean, that's what it is. And even in present time, I am becoming more conscious and more intentional about the fact that I am African first. Mm-hmm. I have a sound, and I'm introducing my sound to the world. So yeah, that's what it is. Like, we are all coming together, bringing a new sound, and also identifying by what we are. We're Christians, and then we are Africans. Very important. Like, it's very important in the mix for us right now.
I mean, I like what you've just said about the fact that you're African and you're bringing a new sound out of the continent. Because for me, from where I sit, when I listen to your kind of music, I can see that it's kind of more or less generic. Do you think that's the way to go? That's the way to go, where, a Zambian can come out with a song which might sound a bit like Limoblaze, and somebody from South Africa might be able to come out with a sound which also sounds like NK. Is that the aim? And don't you think in that case, then, you know, all the different countries are losing the musical identity.
So I for us, right? For my music is a product of my culture. My music is very so it's almost like if you put five of us in a room and you whisper the same thing to five of us in our ears and you ask us to tell it out, we'll probably have slightly different explanations of what we heard, but the core of it is going to be the same. So my music is very African. My music is very Nigerian. Like the core of my music is very Nigerian. So if I was Sam, I first of all, I do not think Afrobeat is like streamlined to any particular nation. Like I see Africa as one whole unit. I feel like we are one whole unit, right? And with Afrobeat, I feel like each and every one of us, every African country should have their interpretation of Afrobeat.
Okay.
So while a Zambian Afrobeat is still Afrobeat, it should feel like a Zambian Afrobeat. Like when I listen to Pompey, Pompey's Afrobeat sounds different from my Afrobeat. And that's the beauty in it. And so I think that is how it should be. So for me, I mean, I think every African artist out there should really intentionally go deep back into their culture, into their sounds, and bet their sounds. Everybody doesn't need to sound like Limoblaze, and everybody doesn't need to sound like NK. But we can hold on to the central identity which we all have as Africans.
But do you have a problem if somebody's trying to sound like Limoblaze? How does that feel?
No, I don't have, to be fair, I think I'll be flattered by the fact that somebody wants to sound like me. Because I mean, I guess at one point, each and every one of us sounded like somebody before we eventually found our sound. So if someone sounds like me, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm flattered first of all. And then secondly, I understand that they're still on a journey and they would eventually bet their sound. Like 80% of artists, when they started, you can always say, oh yeah, this person sounds like this person, but give them time and everybody bets their sound. So if someone sounds like me and they actually listen to me, then I'm humbled by the fact that I'm able to inspire somebody.
So you're someone who does a lot of features, a lot of collaborations, and you've collaborated with some very, very well-known names, Travis Green, The Truth.
Yeah.
And in some of the songs on the album, which is your album with The Truth.
Yeah, Bridges.
It's I would say a lot of the songs are Limoblaze influenced. Would you say so? So, you know, if you have an accomplished artist like The Truth, whose music is influenced by Limoblaze, do you think you must be doing something right then?
Oh yes, I mean, I think I can confidently say I'm doing something right. I'm doing a lot of things right. I mean, even just like in the music space, the attention of the people I've been able to grab tells me a lot that I'm doing something right. And with Bridges, the album, yes, it was. I wouldn't even say that is not purely a Limoblaze sound.
Okay.
Because if it was just me on the album, it wouldn't sound that way.
So there's a lot of influences.
Yeah. It was a lot of influence. Because for one, I grew up on that Truth music, so I know his music very well. So I'm able to, because like I spearheaded the production of the album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was able to comfortably find a fusion that comfortably accommodates myself and him. And yes, it is largely Limoblaze sound, but it's not purely Limoblaze sound.
So we're seeing Limoblaze crossing continents right now.
Yeah.
And I think just before you released the Bridges album, I saw a clip on social media with Kirk Franklin actually driving and listening to your music.
Yeah.
When you see stuff like that, what does that make you feel?
Sometimes it's really hard to like it's really hard to like soak it in, because I mean, I was just a young kid a couple years ago who really wanted to do music, and some of these things seemed so far away.
Mm.
Like me being on the phone talking with that truth, like yo, like he's a good friend. Me being on the phone talking with Lecrae, these things didn't seem possible 5 years. It didn't seem like it could ever happen. So I sometimes when like I'm seeing these things, I actually spend a lot of time trying to convince myself, yo, this is happening. And I think I'm one person who people always tell me, oh yeah, you're a superstar. I do not feel like a star yet. I don't feel I still feel like the young boy who just wanted to make music. Like every day I still feel like that. So but at the bottom of it, I'm really just happy and grateful.
You know what? Saying that you feel like you're a young boy who, I mean, obviously things have happened. We would think pretty
Yeah,
quick, pretty fast for you. But
yeah.
saying that, it takes me to a conversation that we had a while back. I can't remember what it was, but you said to me you were just going back home. You had been to, is it national youth? Is a youth camp or your national?
Yeah. NYC, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
youth camp.
basically is when you finish university, you have to do something like a
Yeah,
national service. And
yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, so this guy's just finished university and he's just doing his youth camp and he's already blown. What do you attribute the speed of your blowing to?
I think the most important part, the factor of it is the grace of God. Now, I am very hardworking. Like I know I am very hardworking. I push myself beyond limits, but I'm not gonna sit here and think it's just me being hardworking that has brought me this far. A lot of it is just really the hand of God on my life. I mean, last night I was having this phase last night where I was just thinking, and I was just going through like a lot of thoughts in my head. I'm like, yo, because I'm working on a project. I'm like, I need to get this project right. And then the Holy Spirit just reminded me of something. He said, he just told me, do not be fooled. Do not think it's the excellence of your music that has brought you this far. It is God that has used what you have done to bring you this far. So don't get drowned in the thoughts of thinking is the excellent. Of course, yes, chase excellence, but excellence didn't bring you this far. Your hard work didn't bring you this far. The factor that makes a difference is really the hand of God in my life.
Wow, the hand of God in your life. So you just heard it. It's the hand of God in Limoblaze's life and it's hard work as well. Do you think
Yeah,
that with and don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking reality TV. So we have all these different reality TVs going on. Um,
yeah.
People go through maybe a few weeks of audition and the next year or so, they're all over the media. Do you think that perception is giving people a wrong impression of how hard work can actually move people? I'm not saying those people don't work hard. No, that's not what I'm
Yeah,
saying. But I think people are
yeah.
getting the wrong perception that you can just click a finger and things would happen. Do you think, because I've heard people make that argument that those kind of shows are not really representing reality?
Well, to be fair, I've had really talented friends who I know are really talented, but they've refused to work. They've refused to put out music because their hopes were always, yo, I'm going to be go to so reality TV. I'm going to sing. I'm going to win, and then become a big star. In all fairness, I think I can count in one or maybe in my both hands how many people have actually gone to these shows, won, and actually had a sustainable career. It's just a few. There's just a few of them because longevity is usually present with artists that have actually taken their time to work hard and build a foundation for themselves. So why there are people who go to these reality shows and then just come up, boom, 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 and then they're here. That's good. But I also am of the school of thoughts that it is not the reality. That isn't how it is. that isn't how it is.
I think that's the suggestion for a new track. Reality show is not a reality. or a new album. Listen, so I mean, in your musical journey, you've won in such a short space of time. You've won some impressive awards. I mean, you won the International Artist of the Year, the Premier Gospel Music Awards.
Yeah.
And then you've also won some other awards as well, AGMAs and everything.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel as an artist who's coming up?
I think.
And do you think it impacts your ministry as well?
So for one, I do not look to awards for validation, but when I get awards, it actually tells me that, oh, people are paying attention. And I actually appreciate the fact that people are paying attention. And sometimes that can be fuel. That can be fuel for your drive. Sometimes it can be fuel for your drive that, oh yeah, people are paying attention. But I do not look to it for validation. I do not think it validates my work. And when I'm not going to go out of my way or like go crazy to get an award, but if I get it, glory to God and I appreciate it and it feels good, it does. Like in all honesty, it does feel good.
I mean, obviously you just said it feels good. One of them in particular, which one was it that really kind of you thought, wow, it made you feel?
I think two that really was like, oh yeah. I think my first time winning the AGMMA, because I had known the AGMMA for like so many years. So like, just winning it, I'm like, oh, okay, we're finally in the conversation. Because there is a conversation. And so winning it, I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, just being nominated, first of all, tells you, oh, you're actually in the conversation. The right people are paying attention. So yes, the AGMMA, and then also the Premier Gospel Award for the fact that the category that I won, I liked that because I was really with some heavy hitters on that award. And I know it also helped me understand that I actually have a lot of people who are passionate about my journey and are always out to support me. So yeah.
But I'm pretty sure you've been nominated in some awards and never won them as well. How does that make you feel as an artist if you're nominated in I mean, I know you've just explained to us that for you, it's not about awards, it's not about validation. But like you're saying, if you win it, you're happy. If you don't win, what happens? Is something I just want to know personally how artists feel,
I mean, so this for me personally, I'm first of all grateful that I got nominated. Now there's some awards that I intentionally do not pay attention to because I doubt because most times I doubt the credibility of it, and I feel like their goal doesn't really fall in line with mine. But now there are awards that I actually respect, and if I don't win them, I'm like, oh yeah, the person who won it is actually also deserving of it.
Right.
And I'm just really grateful. I'm really grateful that I got nominated. Yeah, and that's not the end of the road. Like, if the awards come again next year, I could get nominated and I could win. But yes, like I said, it doesn't really validate anything. It doesn't validate or invalidate anything I do.
So, you have been working, and we were supposed to be recording this interview yesterday, but obviously you were throughout the day. Very busy, man.
Yeah.
Is there a week that goes by or a month that goes by that Limoblaze doesn't release a song? Because you're like constantly EPs out, singles out, a feature here and there.
I mean, first of all, I can't remember a day that went by that I didn't make music, because like I'm always making music. The music I've made that I did not release is more than the music I've released, and I've released a lot of music.
No, that's a lie. Really?
I'm serious, because like I make music every day. Some days I easily knock off 2 to 3 songs, just like record 2 to 3 songs, and so I'm like always recording, always trying to find a sweet spot. Plus, I think it's for me. I understand my following and my fan base. I know how they consume music, and they consume music a lot. So yes, you just find a rhythm that works for you, and this works for me. So
Wow. I
yeah.
mean, is that because you're a producer yourself? So, when you wake up, you're sat in front of you go into your studio and it just, what inspires you? What inspires your songwriting? What inspires
Yeah.
your music?
I mean, so first of all, uh, before now, I'll probably say maybe because I was a producer, but now I'm not, I hardly produce anymore because like I have a ton. So I'm really in a good space right now where everybody's trying to produce for me. Everybody wants to produce for me. So I have producers everywhere sending me beats and just wanting me to jump on their beats. And so it makes it really easy because once I open my email, I have a ton of beats. Everybody's sending me beats, and sometimes I just like for last like this night, the night before, I really needed to go to sleep. I just had to shoot the whole day. I was tired, but it was 1 a.m. and I'm trying to sleep, and I just keep hearing the melody in my head, and I can't go to sleep. If I try to go to sleep, it's hard. And then I get reminded of the fact that some of my best songs that actually blew up, I wrote them when I denied myself of sleep. And I'm like, oh, you know what? Just get up. And I had to get up, and I was recording from like 1 a.m. to about 3, 4 a.m. last night, or yeah, early this morning.
Wow. So you
So yeah,
got home
sometimes
late.
it's just like you just get a nudging in your spirit that you need to record. You need to, and whenever I get that nudging, I try not to ignore it because I've had some of my best songs come out from that.
Have you ever had a song come to you, maybe in a dream or as you're lying down, a song is
Oh
coming to
yes,
you and you ignored it? Well, it was in your head, but then you woke up in the morning and it was gone, and you're like, I should have got up and done that.
it's so painful. I've had that happen to me severally. Like there's some of them that it was such a good song. Like I know it was such a good song, but then I woke up and I didn't because when you wake up immediately the melody stay in your head somehow, but once you don't attend to it immediately, it's gone. And
Wow.
it's painful. I've been there several times. It's so painful. I remember this song I had in the dream once. It was so good, so good. And it's how you sometimes you're in a dream and you are in a dream. And in
Yeah.
the dream, I was waiting to wake up. I was telling myself, you need to wake up and record this. And then for some reason, I woke up and I didn't attend to it and I lost it. It was really painful.
I'm sure there will be a lot more. I'm sure there will be.
Oh yeah.
So, who have been some of your influences in music? Because when I listen to your music, I can kind of pick out a few people, but you tell us who have been some of
Yeah.
your influences. Because I know when you were younger, you used to enjoy listening to the likes of Tupac.
Yeah. I mean, growing up, the first music I listened to the most was rap music. And I listened to Tupac growing up, but Tupac wasn't even really my greatest influence. I think the greatest influence for me was Eminem
Okay.
growing up. Because like as a child, he used to do this comic raps. He had a way that he delivered his music that made it interesting even for kids. So it was Eminem, and then a huge part of my musical influence is from the church, like the praise and worship we play in church. Because I grew up in a very Orthodox church, and our music was amazing. It was very local, very African. So I think that was one of my greatest influences, the music from the church. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And I was told somewhere along the line you had a name, microphone Wonder Boy.
Yeah. 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 I
What,
mean,
this was very when you're very young. What was that? What microphone
yes.
Wonder Boy? What's that all
Yes.
about?
Nah, I mean, I think that name came off of a freestyle once when I was in school. And yeah, I think I called myself Wonder Boy in a freestyle. And then someone who was like, yo, is the microphone Wonder Boy. And then people just started calling me that. Because like,
Okay.
yo, whenever I started rapping, because I was mostly a rapper, and when I get on the mic, I was such a good I am such a good rapper. I don't rap so much anymore, but yeah, rapping was always fun, and that was where that came from.
Lately on social media, I've been seeing you, going to dinner, and you know what I'm about to talk talk about.
I'm not sure, but okay, go
You're
on.
not sure. Anyway, so I've been seeing Limo and a certain
Yeah.
young lady a lot on social media. All right, what's going on there? And do we hear any wedding bells ringing or about to ring?
Well, I didn't. I wouldn't say social media. That's pretty much WhatsApp because like I don't put a lot of that like outside of WhatsApp.
Okay,
Yeah. I have a special someone, and time will tell.
time will tell. Time
when
will tell.
when the bells ring, you hear it.
When the bells ring, we will hear it. So we're waiting. Fingers crossed, we will hear it. In
Sir.
God's own time, He makes all things beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah,
He
sir.
does. He does. He does. But listen, I mean, on a more serious note, as a young man, you're very famous. You're very popular. I
Yeah,
see people dancing to your music all around the world. How do you handle fame?
yeah. I think for me, I'm not very accepting of fame. I think I'll put it that way. Like I said, it's more or less people around me who see me as a star. I do not see myself as a star. I'm in my head. I'm junior. I'm still the little guy, the young boy who just loves making music. So because I'm not very accepting of fame. I don't absorb it. It doesn't get to my head. Most times I'm just like, oh wow, I'm grateful that I'm able to influence people like this, and I'm able to be of service because like I see what I do as service. It's ministry. I'm ministering to people. It's service. So yeah, that is really my headspace. I don't think, oh yeah, I'm a superstar. No. So
Do
I
you
don't.
do you actually see what you do now as work? Do you feel the pressure of what you're doing, or is it something that you can genuinely say you're enjoying?
Oh, like I enjoy music. I enjoy making music. I think my life is going to be sad without music, which is why I thank God every day. I didn't go forward with being a medical doctor. Music makes me happy. I think music. It's so easy for me to be happy with music.
So
Sometimes I just sit back for like an hour or two and I'm playing back the songs I recorded by myself, and I'm just happy. I'm excited to listen to it, and I'm just happy.
I mean, like you told us, as a young person, you wanted to be a medical doctor. So if you hadn't been a medical doctor,
Yeah,
if you hadn't been a musician, what else would you have been?
an actor. I love
Okay.
acting.
Yeah, because I think I've
I,
seen
I
you act in a
yeah,
few.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still something I'm definitely going to do. I love acting. That is like the next favorite thing for me.
But I think a lot of musicians have that tendency, isn't it? There's a close connection between being an artist on stage and being an actor, really.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, most times when you're a creative, and you're really able to channel the creative energy in like almost anything you do.
so I'm just thinking, Limoblaze, the actor. What kind of movies would you have acted in?
I think I want to do Hollywood movies with a difference though, because I've been in a few movies. I think I had my first major offer of a lead role in about 2018, but I realized I wasn't ready for it, so I turned it down because like the role had me. I was supposed to do things I wasn't comfortable doing, so it was not a conversation of right or wrong. It was just, is this necessary? Yeah, it wasn't necessary. So for me, I just told myself that I'll revisit my acting when I have enough influence to be able to influence what goes on in the movie.
Right. I think I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Yes. So, music, acting, anything else you would have liked to do, that you think you haven't had the chance yet, or you lost the chance to actually do that? Any regrets anywhere in your journey?
Yeah, sorry, I missed what you said.
No, I was
My
just
network
saying.
went out.
Oh, okay. I was just saying. Well, let me put it this way: in your journey, has there been any regrets? Anything that you did that you think, if I were to live my life again, I'll do something different?
Oh no, no. I think my steps have very much been ordered by God for the longest that I can remember. Everything I've done has really just panned out rightly. And no, I don't have any regrets about anything at
It,
all.
Is there I mean, I suppose maybe you might not want to share that public, but
Yeah.
is there any feature or any collaboration that you think this has to happen? Who are some of the artists that you might want to, or maybe I don't
I
know.
think I think anyone that I really wanted to work with, there's already some conversation about it. I think the longest I've always wanted to work with was Lecrae.
Okay.
And yeah, so I can't speak so much about, I mean, I heard him in his Grammy interview mention it about like him having stuff with me.
Oh wow. Okay.
So he has mentioned it. I don't want to mention it because like, yeah, I've been here long enough to know how these things work. That nothing is definite until it's actually definite and it's out. So yeah.
Nothing
So
happens until it happens.
yeah, until it happens. Yeah.
Oh wow, wow, wow. Listen, Limoblaze has been a wonderful time. I know you're very busy. You probably need to catch up a bit more on your sleep as well. I can see your eyes are,
Yeah.
I don't want to hold you too long, but I mean, you've mentioned a couple of things that are about to happen, but any projects that you'd want to put out there as well that we should be looking out for to support?
Oh yes. Yeah, this summer, probably in July or August, I have an album coming out. I don't know if it's going to be a full album, if it's going to be the main album, if it's going to take, because I have two albums sitting in my laptop right now. I don't know which of them I want to put out first. But yeah, but this summer I'm putting out something. Definitely. I'm putting out a body of work this summer.
Okay, so
Yeah.
2 albums, hopefully before the end of the year.
Yeah. I mean, max August should be out.
They should be
So
out.
from like next month, yeah, from next month it's going to be a single every month until the album drops. Every month I put out a single and probably videos too, and then the album comes out.
Fantastic, fantastic. And how can we get in touch with you?
Oh, on Instagram, it's Limoblaze _ LIMOBLAZE. On Twitter, it's Limoblaze. On Facebook, it's Limoblaze.
So everywhere is Limoblaze.
Yes, and in music stores, it's Limoblaze. Stream my music.
Stream it, download it, watch the video as well.
Yes.
Amazing stuff, and you will not be disappointed. So listen, Limoblaze, I cannot thank you enough for making time. I know it was quite hard trying to get this organized, and a big thank you as well to Bob as well for all the work that you're doing to project or put all these great artists out there. We thank you very much. Thank you. So, well, we know how to get in touch. It's Limoblaze on all social media handles. And can I just say a big thank you once more for your time, and have a great day. And hopefully we'll keep playing your music.
You too, sir.
Keep putting them out.
You too, sir.
And we'll keep playing them.
Thank you.
All right, sir.
Premier Gospel.